folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Usagi Yojimbo 10,000 Plums, Issue 1 by Dark Horse. Now, there is potential killing, fire, and a potential demon in this one. So, if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's the team. So, this is a new series that came out for Usagi Yojimbo. I have said this in another video. I wonder if these are just reprints of these under Dark Horse. That's possible. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll keep saying that this is new because it did come out new under Dark Horse. So yeah, I received the first issue, and of course I was very excited about it. So let's get into it. So we start with, it says on top, 5 weeks ago, and we see a fox and a fox cub going in the snow. It's winter and it's freezing cold. They keep walking, and then the cub fox keeps coughing. And then the older fox turns to her and says, just hold on, we'll find shelter. As the foxes are talking, but they're not like like Usagi. It's confusing when they're animals along with anthropomorphic sort of animals. Well, not entirely. Anyway, they keep walking until they reach a shed, where the fox mom is very happy. It's like, oh, a shed will be warm in there. But her little cub, her daughter, collapses. So she grabs her by the scruff of her neck and brings her inside. And she's very glad because it's dry in the shed and there's some straw. She puts her daughter on top of the straw and says, you'll be comfortable here until I get help. Because when there's a shed, there are probably people. So she starts walking towards the village that's nearby. And as she walks closer, she changes form and is now, well, not a human, but now she's like Usagi. She has, they have 4 fingers. Well, anyway, she's like them now, human. And she goes, and then we see inside a family. A family's home in this village. They're talking about the cold. Then they hear a knock on the door. And it's I think this woman is a fox. It is a demon, I mean, some sort. Or spirit. No, I think a demon of sorts. Well, she asks for help. She says, my daughter is sick. We're not from this region. We came here because I heard of your plums. Now, this village specializes in these pickled plums, although they're not really pickled plums. That's what they're translated to. They're called omobushi. I'm probably butchering that. I'll just refer to them as pickled plums because it's going to be easier. So these pickled plums have all these healing abilities. They even healed the Shogun from a mysterious disease or whatever. So she asks, I need some of them. And he says, well, no. And she said, well, I can work for them. And the man, being quite mean to her, says, well, what can someone like you do for me? And he slams the door in her face. And she keeps going. She goes to another man, and he also slams the door in her face. And everyone in the village slams the door in her face. And she keeps walking out of the village. These people are quite mean, I must say, in this village. Then we go to 3 weeks ago. Ago or earlier. No, all right, 3 weeks ago. We see a guard outside where the plums are, the orchid of the plums, sitting and complaining about the cold. And they should have brought more sake. And then another guard joins them because this fire died out, and they complain about having to guard the plums. But it looks like something has been destroying them, so they have to guard them. And then they hear some noise, but it's just those little cute lizard creatures. And then the guard that was sitting with the sake gets up and is like, I hate those things. And these people are mean. They said, that's it, I'm gonna chase them away, because if they do something to the plums, we'll be blamed. What are they gonna do to the plums, though, is beyond me. Anyway, he, yeah, he starts chasing them, and he says a line that killed me. He's like, I'll kill you to death. Well, if you kill them, then never mind. Yeah, he runs after them, so and his other buddy's like, well, he's gonna get warm chasing them, so he won't mind if I finish off his sake. So he drinks it all, and then he hears the noise and says, you came back already. Or I know he hears noise and he think, hey, you're scaring me. Stop that. But then he looks and he's horrified. He gets up and starts running. Then he turns and he's like, no, no, and he screams. And then people in the village hear that scream, and then they open that same family that first appeared. The father opens the door, and they see a fire in the plum orchids. Then we go to present time. We've got Usagi, Yokichi, and Gen walking together. So Usagi tells Gen, well, I'm glad you decided to join us. And he said, well, I should be going, what did he say, south to another bounty, but the bounty that I got from killing that guy will last me for a good while. This happens, I forgot to say, after the story of the crow. This continues after that. Usagi Yojimbo the crow. So they walk, they make a little detour. Usagi wants to see the blooming of the plum trees. And so they go to the spot, they climb up, and it's very lovely. It's beautiful. I love the sakura plum trees. It's so beautiful to see them blooming. It's quite a sight. I have a nice lady I follow on Instagram. She lives in Japan. Man, the photos are just amazing. So then Usagi tells them about these pickled plums, all their qualities, and how they were given to soldiers as rations because they would help cure fatigue. And Gen's like, well, I need a whole bowl of those pickled plums. And he goes. And Usagi turns to Yukichi and says, you want to go as well? And he said, yeah, I want to try some of those too. So they go and look at the plum trees and then talk about them. But then they turn and suddenly they see that there's burned plum trees. There's a section of the orchid that is burned off. And they're so shocked by it, like, what happened? And then someone calls them. And it's like, hey, you. Hey, you. And they turn. Now, Yukichi accidentally plucks out a flower from a healthy tree because he sees that they are there. And so, yeah, these are the one who approached them were three soldiers of the shogun. Three soldiers of the shogun approached them, and some of the villagers from the some of the villagers. And they're like, what are you doing here? Who hurts these trees? The penalty is death. And Kichi's like, we weren't harming those trees. We were just looking at them. And then he's holding a little flower. He's like, oh, and he hides it quickly behind his back. And then Usagi's like, look, this is all a big misunderstanding. We're just here. My name is Yamamoto Usagi. This is my cousin Yokichi and my friend Gen. And then the Shogun soldier says, or the Shogun guard? Guard, probably. And he said, well, I've heard your name. And Usagi's like, from who? And he said it doesn't matter. And Usagi knew they were Shogun warriors or soldiers based on their outfits. And so, they're sitting there, and the Shogun, the main guy of the soldiers says, well, I want you to leave, and I don't want to ever see you here again. And Usagi's like all angry, and Yukichi and Gen as well says, "Don't worry, you never will." Are about to leave because when they were first called by the soldiers, they put hands on their swords. Be prepared. But then all of a sudden they hear a scream, and Usagi, a three turn is like it came from over there. And then Usagi, Yukichi, and Gen start running towards the screen, and so do the soldiers and the villagers. And that is it. That's where the first issue ends. Okay, now let's start with the cover. I love this cover. It's so pink. It's got all the beautiful flowers. Fantastic. Oh, so cute. I just love the pattern of the flowers and everything. Oh, lovely. Look. Oh. Probably some of them are gonna be pink by Stan Sakai because of the plums, maybe. We'll see. Okay, now for the art. Alright. There you see it's winter, snow, and there's the fox. Okay. And there's the mom and her daughter. You see the poor thing's coughing, and then she collapses. And this is that shed. Mother carries her and puts her on the straw. As always, great Stan Sakai art and colors. Well, colors are by someone else though. It's always this. There's always this one company actually. There's a color, or maybe not company, but one man. There we go. Oh. All right, now for the story. Well, the story is always seems to be very interesting. From this first issue, it seems pretty, well, not maybe pretty clear, but seems to, at least for this, it seems obvious it's probably related to that fox demon lady. That, like, my thing was maybe people refused to help her there, and perhaps by the time she came back with no cure, maybe her daughter has, sorry, maybe her daughter has died. And so this is her revenge to the villagers who didn't want to help her. And now she's destroying the orchids. I mean, it seems to me like there's a connection there for sure. But I could be wrong. Maybe it'll turn out that it's not, but I'm sure it's going to be related somehow. Though it is peculiar why a fox demon would even need this. Is she a demon? Again, she's a fox, but she took a human form. But yeah, I understand this the villagers like maybe main income thing, but you think they would spare her a few plums for her daughter? And like she said, she would work for them. But yeah, interesting. Are there no other things that can cure a demon? Although granted, I feel like she could have tried to steal a couple as a fox. I mean, find out where they are and then just grab a jar in her mouth and run with it. Then granted, it's not that simple, but you think maybe she would do that instead of going and asking. But again, it could have been nicer to her, and I at least spared her a few, and she would have worked for them. So yeah, it's really sad. I hope her little cub daughter didn't die, but there might be a high chance that she did. And this is all revenge for that from the not heartless, but like cynical, uncaring villagers. As I said, there's that one family in the beginning, and how and the father said, decent people like us, we live in our homes in these times. And I wonder if we're gonna see them, this family again in the next issues of the series. That's interesting. Is if all the plums are destroyed, well, first of all, is medicine is lost to them, and second of all, it's probably the main income of this whole little village. So they're gonna get fucked if they don't have that. So what else will they have to offer, really? I mean, the usual stuff, but this is probably the main thing. So it's left to be seen what is going to happen to them. Will they get help? Nah, I'm assuming Usagi, Yokichi, and Gen are gonna stick around. What's gonna come out in the rest of the series? Yeah, again, I said I suspect that it's that Demon Fox lady, but considering there's four more issues of this, might turn out to be someone else or something else. Who knows? It would be really sad if her daughter died, and I can kind of get her taking revenge on the villagers. But that is all for the first issue. It's always a very fun read, and I love Stan Sakai's art style. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know what you thought of 10,000 Plums of first issue. And that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!